Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for Digital Trends live coverage of CES 2017. I'll be honest, we all have favorites, and this is a segment I have been waiting for just because of the sheer audacity of it. As I said on our YouTube live stream channel, you can access all of Digital Trends coverage of CES, comprehensive, at digitaltrends.com/CES. But right now we are coming to you also on Facebook Live as well as our YouTube channel. I am going to introduce you to our two guests right now. Okay, Drew Prindle, the man of the, I bow down to you, sir. He is the Emerging Technologies Editor for Digital Trends, which I think roughly translate to gets hurt a lot. And then I'd like to introduce you to Emil Grastra, founder of Dangerous Things. Let's talk about what Dangerous Things and the concept behind it. Maybe not so dangerous, perhaps just a little bit painful.
Sure. So we are a biohacking company out of Seattle, and we specialize in human augmentation through direct implantation of technology. So we make
NFC type deal?
Yeah, RFID, NFC, and now we're working on a Java card and crypto platform as well.
Okay, that's a short answer for a very complicated thing. I mean, tell me a little bit about the technology, and I'll turn it over to Drew for some questions, because he's actually spent a fair bit of time researching this himself.
Sure. So essentially what we're doing is we're taking the technology that started out with dogs and cats, those chips that you would inject, and we're enhancing it. So we're working with NFC, near field. You can use it with your smartphone, that kind of thing, with computers, USB readers. And we're essentially trying to build a bridge between a person's biological identity and their digital identity. So for example, my implant, I can get it in my house, my office, my car, start my motorcycle, log into the computer. I recently built a smart gun that I can activate the trigger with the implant. So being able to actually get rid of keys and eventually hopefully get rid of cards in the wallet just with an implantable device.
Yeah, how many implants do you have?
At the moment I have 5. I prototype all of our new stuff, so I'm trying out all the new FlexLine stuff that we're working on.
You got to show us where are they at. Where
so
are these 5 implants?
The oldest one and the first one is this one here in my left hand, and it's hard to see, but I can kind of pop it out there. So that's our XEM 125 kilohertz RFID transponder. It's a very simple concept. You place it up to a reader, it spits out an ID number, the reader checks the list, says, yep, you're on the list, you can go through the door. My next implant is our XNT, which is an NFC compliant transponder. It also does that, but on top of that, it works with smartphones and basically right now I have my business card on this one, and it's very hard to see, but I can pop it out. I don't know if you can zoom in on that.
That is way better than the QR code I almost got a tattoo of.
Right.
Unwisely.
Right.
So that's way better because that's at least somewhere in there. Oh my gosh, I can see it.
Yeah. Pop it out there for you to see.
And that's like the one that I'm about to be getting, right?
You're going to get that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I can use that, for example, with this door lock here. So this is just a regular old deadbolt door lock. And when I come home, I just place my hand like that, unlocks. So I'm not typing it in codes. If I got groceries, I can just tap it and go. Something like that. Very straightforward.
I have to share a comment really quick from our YouTube live stream channel saying, hey Emil, I see your company, Dangerous Things. Can you tell us a little bit about Shut Up and Take My Money? They are on board. Someone else commenting that perhaps you look a little bit nervous.
No,
are you?
A little bit. I'm actually more excited than I am nervous, but I guess it's showing, apparently.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, it's less pain than an ear piercing, and it's actually safer than an ear piercing, because a body piercing, you have a piece of metal hanging through 2 open holes for days on end while it tries to heal. But this is just very quick. It's an injector assembly. You put it under the skin, pop out the tag, remove it. It's done in a few seconds. And the next day, you're washing hands, taking a shower, doing whatever. It's fine.
Did you? I may have read this incorrectly, so please correct me. Did you change what you put on the outside of it? I mean, you've modified these chips over time. You've found better ways to have them basically live inside the human body for long periods of time without any issues.
Yeah, so one of the things that when I first started looking into this in 2005, when I got this one, if you look at an animal chip, there's parylene coating on it that locks it in place, and that's because the scruff of the animal is very loose, the dermis layer is not very well attached, so you don't want the chip moving all around, and then the vet has to scan all these places.
What?
So there's this parylene coating. The tissue will grow into that and lock it down. But I wanted to be able to remove the chip or replace it easily later if I wanted. So we basically worked with manufacturer to ensure there was no parylene coating. There was a different chip inside, different data protocol. So now, the human being is the dermis is very tightly bound to the skin, to the muscle layer. So, fascia tissue, put it right there. After a couple weeks, it's locked down, encapsulated. It doesn't move. It's all good.
What have you learned about this product as you've done your research?
I've learned that I really want it in my hand. But what I'm really more curious about is, do you think this is ever going to be like a mainstream thing? Because the stuff that I'm about to put in my hand is something that you could easily have in like a wearable device.
You could, but the problem with wearables, in my opinion, is that you're adding an additional management burden. It's why Fitbits and the like 50% of them end up in the drawer after a few weeks, because we already have these three major burdens in life. There are keys, wallet, and phone, and those are like our critical things.
Yeah.
If you add to that additional things, glasses, wearables, things like of this nature, you'll find that over time, maybe the benefits don't really warrant that extra management burden. So people tend to slough off what they don't need. And with an implant, what's great about it is that after a few weeks, it becomes a part of you that you don't even remember that you have it. I mean, it's like you're sitting there now and your kidneys are working hard, but you're not even thinking about it. And a well-designed implantable technology does the same. It's there, they do their jobs, it's great.
We have a question coming to us from Facebook from Ross, who wants to know, how is security compared to traditional NFC devices?
Sure. So security of these transponders is the same as an NFC. So in a personal use context, the security risk is low, because if you say, let's look at a credit card, right?
Okay.
So credit card is a mass-targeted type of attack. I don't have to know the person I'm attacking. I can just kind of stand at a bus terminal and scan credit cards when they go by. And I can go anywhere and use that. So that's an example of bad risk analysis on their part. But for a personal use transponder, if somebody were to stand in a bus terminal and get an ID number, there's no context. They have no idea that it opens your specific door or your specific car or whatever. And so if somebody wanted to get into your specific house, I mean, they probably just break a window or something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this type of attack is low risk, but we are working on a secure prototype, which is called VivoKey, and that's a full cryptographic platform. It's Java card. You can load PGP apps on there, OTP. It's full public key encryption. So the security level of the VivoKey implant is much higher. It's for a security-minded.
That's a different implant.
It's a different implant than this, but it's still in development.
Gotcha.
People on our YouTube live stream channel, people have been playing it. The CES drinking game. Do you see a backpack? Do you see a lanyard? One of them is as soon as you say awesome or amazing for a product description. Well, I just said it, guys. So go ahead, crack the beer. Awesome and amazing. We all agree. Did we get through all of your implants? I think did you say you had 5?
Yeah, so I have our VivoKey prototype, which is gigantic. I built this very quickly in my garage, which is why it's so huge. But the prototypes we're working on now are much smaller. So there's this one. It's embarrassingly large.
I like that he said, I built it very quickly in my garage, but I put
just
it in my body anyway.
It's amazing where we're at with technology and the internet and materials. We can actually do these things and do them safely in a garage lab. But anyway, so there's that one. We have a Flex NT here, which is a flexible paper-thin transponder, but it's also biosafe. So that's our new Flex line that we're working on. Then my traditional glass tube transponders, the XCM, the XNT, and then here I have an XCM, but we programmed it in HID mode so that I can actually clone an HID work badge to it and then gain access to different areas, but without having to talk to HR about it.
Have you had conversations with the military?
Yes, we have, but it's really just preliminary. Like, how do we want to look at maybe securing weapons or whatever?
Yeah,
now,
who's most interested in this?
Well, hence how I was curious when he mentioned the gun, right? And as you were going through this, I was just thinking, I went straight Hollywood. So
Sure,
anyway,
yeah. And Hollywood is like the majority of education people get about a, quote, microchip implant. So every Hollywood movie's like, find that person and shoot a missile at them, And it doesn't work that way, right? It just doesn't. But the sad part is I get emails from like parents concerned about kidnapping or whatever. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way, sorry.
Now, here's what we're going to do. I need to let those of you know who are just joining us on Facebook Live, if you're just finding this, we have Emil Grafstra, the founder of Dangerous Things, here with us. He is going to use a needle, and this is why I'm warning you, a needle to implant a chip into Drew Prindle, our emerging technologies editor. Those of you on our YouTube live stream channel are aware of this as well. So guys, let's give a big round of applause right now for our volunteer, Drew. Let's go ahead and start the demo. Let's do it. Here we go. So you've been warned about the needles, everyone.
All right, Drew.
Okay.
You got it, buddy.
No tears.
I'll try not to squeal. Got to look tough on camera.
So this is our kit here, and it contains pretty much everything you need to do the install. And you're doing your right hand, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have you put it right about here.
Okay.
Do we need to tape it down?
No. But now, just remember this location and move your hand. And I'm going to lay down stuff and then take your hand and put it on the field. Once I put it down, don't move it.
You got it.
So that's the injector. Some information for you for later. Yeah, inject first, ask questions later.
That's the instructions.
So this is our sterile field here.
This is also official. I love it.
Well, you don't want to just like,
You
let's just pass
don't want
it
just like a
around.
paper towel and a bunch of duct tape. That's,
Yeah, no. You want it actually good quality stuff. So, all right.
All right. Oh my goodness is right. Someone in the audience out there goes,
And
oh,
right there.
my
And relax.
goodness.
Yeah. Close your fingers. Yeah, there we go. Keep it right there. So now I'm going to drop some sterile items onto the field here. That is chlorhexidine. It's used for surgical prep.
YouTube gold, they're saying on our YouTube live stream channel. Guys, again, just a warning for those of you just joining us on Facebook showing it to you sometimes takes a while to build an audience. You're about to watch him get injected with a needle and a microchip, so I'm just giving you a warning if you're squeamish.
So people that are interested in getting one of these, we also have built a partner network of professional body piercers because they work with needles and skin and aseptic procedure. And so, if you don't want to DIY this, which we don't recommend.
John on our YouTube live stream channel asking, when would you use one of the Flex implants?
So the Flex implant is, the whole reason we're developing the Flex is that this glass tube technology comes from the pet industry. And it's great for injection, but it doesn't couple very well with magnetic readers. So when you have a reader that you want to use, maybe it's a USB device or maybe it's a particular smartphone, the magnetic coupling is quite difficult sometimes to get it to work right. So the Flex allows us to put it in other areas of the body because the glass tube you want here in this kind of squishy area. But the Flex you can put anywhere, and it couples much better with readers. So the performance is much higher. And when you're talking about crypto platforms, something where you're using Java card and you have high CPU usage, where you need a lot of good coupling to move enough energy to do that crypto. So if you have it in a glass tube, there's not enough energy actually being put into the device to actually do like public key encryption.
So for those of you
But
just
they're not
joining
quite
us
as
again,
easy to install, right?
We're working on a similar installation procedure.
Okay.
we got to let you know we are joined by Emil Graster, the founder of Dangerous Things. He is about to implant a chip using a needle into Drew Prindle, our emerging technologies editor. What type of chip are you going to implant?
So this is our XNT. It's a NFC device. So it's an ISO 14443A and NFC Type 2 compliant transponder. And I'm not happy with this amount of coverage of the antiseptic. So I'm going to open another kit here.
You know best.
No risky business on camera here. So there, you get the other.
People are asking, and feel free, just move right around me because we want to get that camera in there. Just in case you pass out, he's got your back, right? He's getting in for the close-up. Getting in the close-up for him going down for the count. Do we have Sprite, some crackers?
Bring me my brown pants.
You get a lollipop.
You did not.
There we go. That's good coverage.
That's
Oh, this is so good, you guys. Hands down my favorite thing. I'm not going to lie. And I thought the spectrometer was pretty cool, just so you know.
So we're going to cover a nice large area, way more than we need, but we want to make sure.
Christopher on Facebook saying, wow.
I'm going to hit my gloves as a secondary precaution here.
You're good at this.
You can never have too much chlorhexidine. And that's going to take about 60 seconds to take effect and dry, kill everything.
I'm so glad I decided not to do this.
So now I'm going to take that time to explain healing, aftercare, all that stuff.
Okay.
So we're going to put that needle in there, and it's going to deposit a little transponder. And it's biologically inert, but your body's going to try to encapsulate it with collagen and fibrous tissue.
So it doesn't move around.
Well, that's the body's natural response to doing is you're going to encapsulate. So during that time, don't play with it or poke it. Try to lay off of that.
I'll try my best.
Try your best not to do any extreme sports or like a lot of weightlifting, something like that, for about 2 weeks. And then at the 30-day mark, it should be fully encapsulated. Okay. If you want to help speed that along or help it along, you can actually take prenatal vitamins.
All right.
It helps build collagen. You'll notice
You'll
your
have
fingernails
fabulous hair.
Yeah, and fingernails. So, and then during that healing time, and maybe a little bit after, you might feel little twinges as the nerves try to heal back around that area. Like, it's fine. You can itch it a little bit if you want. Just don't poke into it.
Gotcha.
By tomorrow, we'll put the bandage on afterward, but in about an hour or so, or if it just falls off and it's not bleeding, you're good. You can just let it dry, and then tomorrow you're fine. You can wash hands, take shower, you're good.
Awesome.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm going to check your hand here just for bone placement. So we want to place it parallel to the index metacarpal, and then about halfway in. So we're just going to find your trapezoid bone here and measure, kind of get an idea where your bones are and where we want to place this.
I didn't even know I had a trapezoid bone.
You do. Okay. I think we're good. Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like nervous for him.
All right. Take a deep breath in and out.
Oh my word.
Okay.
Right
That is
on.
it.
Yeah.
Dude, you did it.
Yeah, it's
It
done.
really did just feel like a bee sting. That was not
That needle's
that bad.
huge.
A bee sting.
Yeah. And you might feel a little bit of burning, and that's the chlorhexidine that was drug into the
Okay,
wound,
yeah,
but that'll go away in about a minute.
Sweet. Dude, that was way easier. Steph, you got to do this. This really wasn't that
I got
bad.
more kids.
No way. Well, I got to be here all day. If I pass out, we have a problem. So, it's funny because so truly a bee sting, like a flu shot bee sting,
Bee
or
sting.
like a really big bee sting?
Like maybe a hornet.
Got it.
Like not just like a little honeybee.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the skin palpation that we do, it actually desensitizes the area. So if I had more time, I would have just done that a bit longer. And then he
Dude,
would
you
have
just went for
felt
it. You went
last.
for broke. Hey, Steve asking, okay, by the way, our YouTube live stream just blew up. Some people just joining us on Facebook Live are like, wait, what just happened? So I'll get you up to speed here in just 1 second. But I wish you could see everybody commenting right now. Steve wants to know how much something like that costs. Before you answer that, for people just joining us on Facebook Live, or maybe you came late to our YouTube live stream channel, what we have is an implant that was just put into Drew Prindle, our emerging technologies editor for Digital Trends, by Emil Grafstra, who is the founder of Dangerous Things. And he's basically a self-described biohacker out of Seattle who is looking to, well, as you put it, get rid of keys and all sorts of other things to simplify life as well as making things safer. One of the more practical applications was a chip that communicates with a firearm so that only the person who possesses the chip can operate the firearm. He can allow himself into different parts of a secure building based on how the codes sync up. And right now he's bandaging Drew up, who just had the implant done. Drew, speak again about how it hurt, what that process was like on your end.
It really did just feel like a bee sting. And it was over really quick. I think Emil's just really good at this. He's done, what did you say? You've done about 1,600 of these installs?
Yeah, so far.
So he's a pro at this point. I imagine it would be a little bit more painful if you weren't such a pro.
And hold your thumb like that. Just for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that is it. Now we do the cleanup.
Awesome, man. Nope.
So once you get the cleanup done, what's the next part of the process while you're cleaning up for him to be able to actually use this chip?
So he can use it right now. We can actually add him to the authenticated list on this lock, and then he can demo that.
What do you want to use it for, Drew?
Okay, so before this all started, we were actually talking about Emil brought a cloner, so he can actually clone the card that I use to get into the office at work, and then put that same code or whatever into this chip. So I'm going to be able to wave my hand in front of the little thing, the chip reader at our door, and get into our office.
Okay. I think it's fabulous, you guys. We're going to wrap this up for right now. Drew Prindle, the emerging technologies editor with Digital Trends. A round of applause for him for having that implanted live. Woo!
Guys.
Nicely done, Drew. Emil Grafstra, the founder of Dangerous Things. One of the wildest things I've ever seen actually happen, and I've seen a lot in my 20 years of broadcast business in terms of not only what you're doing for the future, but actually just doing it right here live for Digital Trends. So guys, you have been watching Digital Trends live coverage of CES 2017. Thank you so much for being around. You can access all of our comprehensive coverage at digitaltrends.com/CES. You the man.